This is the story of one very busy family from Kansas who are trying to get away with 4 children, mom and dad, and 2 grandparents. Everyone is booked solid with sports, music, school, and work.
We can get some out to you after
Especially
lunch.
Dad. He's already had to cancel one vacation this year, and he's barely able to pull himself away for this one. This family needs a rest.
Marley, let's see your court.
Well, so far, it's not looking like a restful vacation, but it just might turn out to be exactly what this family needs. They've come to a place with a hard-to-spell name, Kissimmee. Have you heard of it? A lot of people haven't, but along with our family, they're about to discover this place offers more surprises than they ever imagined. This isn't Kansas anymore. And this is what happened when they were getting away together.
Getting away together is made possible by
TripAdvisor.com. 50 million reviews and opinions from real travelers.
They treated me like a rock star. Even the concierge knew me by name.
We could kayak right from our own private dock.
It felt like we had the whole island to ourselves.
I could almost reach out my window and touch the Eiffel Tower.
What an amazing vacation. We can't wait to go back.
Fantastic.
Millions of reviews of hotels, vacation rentals, and more. All from real people who've been where you want to go. TripAdvisor.com.
You've planned your trip for a long time. Wouldn't it be nice to know someone is helping you make it safe and relaxing? For more than 20 years, CSA Travel Protection has been making travel convenient with friendly, expert service, giving you security that your travel investment is safe, whatever happens, and the assistance you need from travel delays to emergency care. Before, during, and after your trip, we're CSA Travel Protection.
Kissimmee, the heart of Florida, is a proud sponsor of Getting Away Together.
Yeah, we can get it back to you tomorrow.
We begin our story with Seth. He runs a successful produce distribution center, but lately, things are a little tough at work.
It is a very difficult time right now because we did some restructuring, and when Grandpa Steve invited us to go to Colorado over spring break, I had to say, guys, I can't make this trip, I'm sorry.
There's an awful lot of similarity between Seth and I. I have worked hard all of my life. I still work hard. I enjoy my work. I think it's a valuable asset, but it's not nearly as valuable as my family.
Seth is definitely a great dad, but he still has, that responsibility to the company, and he wants to do well in the company so that we are taken care of.
When Khaki told me about this trip, soon after that, I thought, I don't think I can make this either. But some things were delegated and decided that I am going to take the 4 days off, spend time with the family, and to build some memories.
As it turns out, Seth's wife, Khaki, knew the time to act was now. So she'd been actively working to find a vacation place that was close enough to allow the maximum amount of time away, and yet still challenge her family to have fun and relax. Could that be possible?
I wanted to kind of prepare them, so I did go on the internet and see a virtual tour of all of the rooms, and the kids got to choose which room they wanted to stay in as we were looking.
Khaki was able to find a vacation rental home near the Florida town of Kissimmee. Well, Kissimmee is smack dab in the middle of Florida, equidistant from the more famous destinations of Cape Canaveral, Cocoa Beach, and Florida's famous theme parks. Even though today, most people think of animals of the mouse variety when they talk about this area, Kissimmee actually got its start as a cow town. After After the Civil War, a sawmaker from Philadelphia named Hamilton Diston bought 4 million acres of land here and began digging a waterway to carry cargo by steamship across the middle of Florida instead of going all the way around the Keys. That's what brought the cattlemen here, along with the fact that there were literally thousands of wild cows roaming around, herds left behind by the earliest Spanish settlers to the area. Today, much of this vintage land is covered by herds of tourists from all over the world and entire communities of vacation rental homes.
I've never heard of an entire area of rental homes before. I didn't know that it even existed. So you get to go and enjoy home, away from home, but it's really a great idea. It's a great idea.
On the way up, we were talking about where we were going to go in Kissimmee, and so the kids added some, well, I think it's going to be this way, or I think it's going to be that.
We had a lot of, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
When we arrived at the house Thursday evening, I just thought, oh, it's going to be, it's going to be a house that we're going to be staying in, and it's going to have everything that a house normally has.
We walked in, and I have never seen my grandchildren react the way they did.
Wow.
This is going to be good. This is going to be nice. This is perfect. They're going to love it.
Yeah, these chairs, for Daddy's diner. Serve it right here.
Usually I would have to stop at the grocery store to get all the things that I needed to prepare meals, but with this, made a list and they were able to fill it all, and I walked in and everything was already there and I didn't have to do any of the grocery shopping.
There was food in the refrigerator, and that made my wife very happy. And when my wife's happy, we're happy.
It was fabulous.
When we first got here, I screamed and ran in and went straight to the game room, looked at everything there was.
I looked over to the right because I thought it was a bedroom by the front door. And I thought, okay, cool. I wonder who's going to be sleeping here. Open the door up. It's a movie theater.
Such a big screen.
And then some of them split up and ventured to the back of the house where the pool was. So the younger kids were all over that. I want to go in the jacuzzi right away. So sure, get your bathing suit on, let's go for it.
Even though Kissimmee is the #1 feeder area for the theme parks of Central Florida, most visitors completely miss a lot of what makes this area so unique.
It's an old cow town, but it has grown up, and it has lots of attractions in and of itself.
There is a downtown Kissimmee, right along Highway 192, but the tallest building in town is the Osceola County Courthouse. It's a quiet, sleepy little town with a few charming reminders of its cowtown beginnings. One of these is called Forever, Florida. Right in the middle of one of the most densely populated parts of the state lies an enormous eco-ranch of untamed wilderness. It was created as a living memorial to a young man named Alan Broussard by his parents after his unfortunate early death at age 29. Forever, Florida offers something they call an eco-safari. Big-wheeled trucks take you way back into wetlands, dense cypress domes, and even a working cattle and horse ranch. Nearly 5,000 pristine acres. Keep your eyes peeled, and you'll catch a glimpse of a herd of free-roaming horses, the direct descendants of the first horses brought to North America by Spanish colonials. It's the largest herd of registered cracker horses in the world. They're called that because early Florida cowboys would crack their whips as they herded cattle.
When we were out there, I felt like it was just us. It was just the best kept secret in the Kissimmee area. It just looks like nobody had been there in hundreds of years. It's just so quiet and so peaceful.
All right, guys, it's important to stay pretty quiet through here. There's a good opportunity to see a lot of different animals. Here we are approaching some water. Let's see if we can see any river otters. Some alligators like over there.
I was taken back. I lived in Orlando for 5 years ago, and had no idea it was there.
Oh, you guys see that over there?
What?
It's a green tree snake. Look at it right, you see it? It's right on the top of that palm frond. Go over there where you can see it.
We saw some snakes, and I saw an alligator.
Over on the right-hand side, look at that big old cypress on the other side of the bank.
We saw this huge cypress tree that was like, it looked like it was wearing a skirt. It was really funny.
The most popular adventure at Florida Eco Safari is a 2.5-hour soaring experience on what might be called a zip line on steroids.
You know, it's interesting. Khaki has grown and matured as each child has been born. And it's been harder and harder for her to keep total control.
I like to have a little control, yes, yes.
I was super surprised. My mom is not one of those people who would do any of it.
Ever since I've had children, my comfort zone has gotten smaller. So I'm mom now, I'm in charge. And so going out of my comfort zone is exciting to do and it's fun to do.
After a short hike down the Florida Trail, one of only 8 national scenic trails in the country, you arrive at one of 9 observation posts rising 55 feet above Florida wilderness.
As I was climbing up the stairs, I looked back at the guy and said, once I'm up there for good, aren't I? And he said, yeah, you're not coming back down unless you go down the zip line.
When I heard that my mom was going on the zip line, I was 50% sure she would do it and 50% she wouldn't.
I'm only doing this for the kids.
And when she said, I'm doing this for the kids, she really meant it.
Got it, right up on the box.
After that first jump, no problem after that. I think as my kids get older, I get a little bit more brave and I realize, okay, I can do these. It's okay for you to do these and not have to be mom all the time.
This is the real Florida. Florida long before theme parks and NASCAR. You can see why it's easy to spend the entire day at this virtually undiscovered place.
I had never heard of Celebration before. And when we got there, it was, I couldn't believe it was just like a little city, its own little city.
I love when they get to go out and not have kids following them around and asking them questions all the time.
We don't get a lot of time to go out together and spend time alone on dates. It was a real treat for us. We just go and like to have good food, conversation, just spend time with each other, sort of a downtime, and that's very special to us.
Hey, morning guys. Hey.
Dad's Diner is a breakfast that we do every weekend.
Good deal. Okay, have a seat. I've got some fruit ready for you to start munching on.
So my dad just likes putting on his hat, getting an apron, and just, what do you like, Murphy? Okay. He'll just cook it for you, whatever you want. And then he'll like get a receipt and write like 4 kisses and 3 hugs and give it to you.
Okay, scrambled eggs coming up for scrambled eggs, people. You wanted some? Coming right up.
One time he was making, I think, bagels for the kids. And Maxon said, I want eggs today. And Seth said, okay. Made the bagels, you know, because that was already on the list of making. And passed it out, and Maxon ate it, and he looked up and he goes, where's my eggs? And Seth said, well, I didn't make eggs today. But that's what I ordered. So, you know, you're at a diner. You should be able to order whatever you want to order.
This is good, Dad. Mm-hmm. This is good, Daddy. Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you've learned how to spell Kissimmee, now try this one. Lake Tehopakalaga. It's a native name, meaning we will gather here. But don't worry, because everyone around here calls it simply Lake Toho. The reason why it's a big deal is that it's the headwater for the entire Florida Everglades.
Let's go. How y'all doing? My name's Chad. I'm going to be your driver's life jackets underneath your seat. Anything you got loose, you want to hang on to. It's very windy.
Our Captain Chad was wonderful. He loves what he does.
We'll go ahead and try to find some gators.
Sliding down through the channel that borders Boggy Creek airboats doesn't exactly set you up for the high-octane surprise that lies just ahead.
I went airboating years ago, but it wasn't the same as having the opportunity to do so with my grandchildren. Because airboating with my grandchildren, I saw things that I'd never seen before. They got excited about lily pads, little tiny alligators. Of course, I got excited about little tiny alligators too. And just the speed of the boat and the wind at your face.
If your stress level is still hovering around an 8, this 70-mile-per-hour ride over unspoiled waters will blow that worry right out of the water.
Maxon did comment about hoping that he would be able to see an alligator. If he was able to even touch one, he would be just so excited.
Y'all look over here on your right here, you might see some baby gators. Y'all can stand up if you like and look over there, look around, you might see some.
Oh, there they are. Mackie, look. They're right there. See the little one? Mackie, you see them? Right there. They're just swimming around in their little area.
I just thought it was fantastic. Seeing the little bitty alligators, I know they're little, and then they grow up, but the little bitty alligators were cute.
Mackie is all boy. His dream before he came here was to hold a baby alligator.
Wow. Oh my gosh, an alligator. So cute.
Yeah, he's cute.
You hear him talking?
Yeah. Back, Mackie.
This is Zeus. He's a 2.5-year-old American alligator. He's still pretty young right now. They can live up to 60 to 70 years old, and then when he's fully grown, be up to 15 feet long and weigh 1,000 pounds. So he's still pretty tiny right now.
How fast do they grow?
They grow about a foot a year until they're around 7 feet long, and then they slow down about ½ an inch a year, and that all depends on how much they eat. So the more they eat, the bigger they get.
When Maxon got to hold the alligator, he looked up and said, "Oh, Mom, my dream came true."
Nice and soft.
So he was very excited.
Murphy and Grandpa Steve and I got to go to an old town theme park. We started off at the go-kart track where we saw another side of Grandpa Steve over at that go-kart track. We started off same time, everything was cool.
We will not be using our brake.
And then Grandpa Steve starts flying by us, cuts us off on the first turn, and no stopping him from there. He just takes off and we're chasing him down. His driving skills seemed to go to the wayside on the go-kart track because it was every man for himself. He had one thing on his mind, and that was getting to the finish line before we did. We discovered a true Americana event at Old Town. They have a car show every Saturday night where it's free to the people who are bringing their cars out, and they allow the public to come by and check them out. We're talking older classic cars, Chevys and Bel Airs. Something very special happened. We were visiting with a gentleman who was one of the founding members of this event that started over 21 years ago. Has his own plaque behind his car.
An updated carburetor so we can run the air conditioner.
Murphy was excited that Mr. David even took the time to show us under the hood and the car.
Okay, you guys want to cruise with us tonight?
Can we, Daddy?
Yeah, that'd be great. Let's go for it.
Oh, good. We get back here about 8 o'clock and we'll cruise.
Old Town. It's the county fair that never leaves town.
The rides, the games, the teddy bears that you could win that were larger than a small car, that kind of stuff, that was all there.
Old Town is also home to the largest weekly car cruise in America, the Saturday Night Cruise.
As you're driving, you've got thousands of people on either side of you waving, cheering on these cars.
On average, more than 300 classic cars, hot rods, street rods, and antique cars cruise down the brick-lined streets.
It's a true piece of American history. My son smiling all night long that we got to ride in that car and wave to all these children that were lined up along the street.
I think that night in Old Town Kissimmee was probably one of the best things that could have happened to Murphy for this year because he was with his grandfather and his father all by himself.
The locals yelling out, "Hey Dave, how you doing? Hey Dave." He knew so many people there, and riding with him during the parade, and he's been doing that for 21 years because that's his passion.
Just about everyone who vacations in a home in Kissimmee is going to end up, sooner or later, at Walt Disney World Resort. Depending on where you are in Kissimmee, you're never more than about 15 to 20 minutes away.
Anytime we can get away as a family is beyond precious because as they get older, as I'm seeing with Macy now, the time that they want to spend with their friends more so than with their family is becoming harder and harder to get them together. Oh, I've definitely seen Seth relax. I think it was during the roller coasters. He just turned his phone off, and that doesn't happen very often at all. It was fabulous.
At Main Street Confectionery, Grandma Ree got some one-on-one creative time with Maxon and Marley.
I loved being a mother. So actually being a grandmother is somewhat similar, except for it's a little more removed and you have a little less pressure on you. You have the fun of the kids.
Oh, I like that one. That looks great.
We're gonna give you some big eyebrows. Pirate smile. That's the one. All right, you ready for another look? All right, raise your hand. You say and do everything I say and do, right? I, Peter Blackhawk.
Peter Blackhawk. Yo ho!
That's right, we got us a new pirate!
Perfect.
Next stop, Epcot. And what could be better than hanging out with a few old friends? Every night at 9 o'clock at the World Showcase Lagoon in Epcot, Illuminations Reflections of Earth, a live pyrotechnic show, brings together the past, present, and future of our planet.
This vacation was such a unique vacation. Being able to all spend the entire time in the same house, having the activities in the house that we had, and being able to do them together.
The only way that you can be a core, strong, happy family is to do things like this. And if you just let time pass and never take the time to do it, it's gone. You will never get that chance to do it again.
Years from now, we'll be thinking about this house we're in, the zip lining, holding an alligator, a baby alligator, driving on the airboats, going to Old Town to see the car show, driving the go-karts. I could relax on this trip, and I have relaxed on this trip.
He's able to either put it in the back of his mind where we don't know that he's thinking about it, or he's able to enjoy himself. This has been a very special time.
This is the kind of time that they remember. It's family times like this that they remember. And this is the dad that they really know. These will be memories for all of us to talk about for years and years to come.
For me, this has been my dream come true, so this is great.
Remember that old saying that goes something like, at the end of life, no one ever says, oh, I wish I'd spent more time at the office. No, this won't be the last time this little family from Kansas will find itself getting away together.
If you'd like to know more about the people, places, and activities featured in this or any other episode of Getting Away Together, log on to gettingawaytogether.com. That's gettingawaytogether.com. Getting Away Together was made possible by
TripAdvisor.com. 50 million reviews and opinions from real travelers.
They treated me like a rock star. Even the concierge knew me by name.
We could kayak right from our own private dock.
It felt like we had the whole island to ourselves.
I could almost reach out my window and touch the Eiffel Tower.
What an amazing vacation. We can't wait to go back.
Fantastic.
Millions of reviews of hotels, vacation rentals, and more. All from real people who've been where you want to go. TripAdvisor.com.
You've planned your trip for a long time. Wouldn't it be nice to know someone is helping you make it safe and relaxing? For more than 20 years, CSA Travel Protection has been making travel convenient with friendly, expert service, giving you security that your travel investment is safe, whatever happens, and the assistance you need from travel delays to emergency care. Before, during, and after your trip, we're CSA Travel Protection.
Kissimmee, the heart of Florida, is a proud sponsor of Getting Away Together.